All good things must come to an end. Before we recap and see some of the group stages highlights, the bad news has started to roll out. No, it's not about TrueSight. TI11 will have the TrueSight team going around and recording. Kenny Utama, a freelance journalist, reported that TrueSight will be released at a later date, and Valve will still be committed to Dota 2, at least for next year. David L.D. Gorman, the co-founder of Beyond the Summit, announced in 2022-2023 they will not be hosting a DBC tournament or any Dota 2 tournament at all. Perhaps this was what Shannon Suns fan Scott alluded to during their podcast.
There's news coming out after TI from, let's just say, a third party, not directly related to Valve at all, but once it's announced, it's going to make some waves as well. The pitchforks will be out, most likely.
Originally, LD tweeted, "Out not with a bang but a whimper. No idea what the future holds, but thanks for everything all these years. Love you all, always." He then followed up with an explanation. "Personally, a terrible and sad day for me. And I know for much of the team here at BTS, we won't be producing a DBC league next year. And honestly, it's unclear if we'll be doing any Dota content at all moving forward." He ended by thanking the community for everything. "Such an amazing game and community that has given me everything." Outside the game, celebrity Asa Butterfield, an avid Dota fan, was also disappointed in the production PGL has provided for the International, saying, "How am I watching a Smash tournament that has a higher production value than TI11? He ended by calling Valve an indie company, continuing the joke. Kudos to Ledesi, making Valve look like an indie studio. Onto the group stages, it had its highs, lows, and tiebreakers. But first, the lows. Royal Never Give Up had a strong day 1 going 9-1, then on day 2 they got hit by COVID, and only Yap, Xnova, Jiang Wei did not catch it. RNG had to forfeit their game 2 against PSG LGD as Lu Somnus Yao got admitted to the hospital. He was healthy enough to compete on day 3. RNG ended up qualifying into the lower bracket. Another low, Mihail Misha Agatov got hit with the abandon bug when he tried to restart Dota 2. The bug happens when you try to restart Dota 2, instead it'll ask if you want to abandon. So they had to pause the game for 2 hours, and Valve stepped in to fix the bug for the game to resume. Continuing inside the game, Soniq's offlaner, Rodrigo Leslao Santos, may have just ended his career. His in-game effigy has a racial slur. Leslao has since tweeted and apologized, saying it was written years ago. "I had carelessly written it many years ago and then forgotten about it, and I'm deeply sorry for both doing so and not checking and removing it earlier." Soniq has been eliminated by Boom Esports from the International. TSM, who were one of the first teams to qualify, did not figure out the patch quick enough and got eliminated and went 5-13. Onto the highs, Evil Geniuses, who barely qualified for the International's group points, steamrolled everybody by going 14-4. Tundra Esports in the other groups also went 14-4. Surprisingly, the two teams that needed the last chance qualifiers were second in their respective groups, going 13-5. NTD and Boom Esports both had to play in the tiebreakers to secure themselves a lower bracket spot. Onto the highlights. We have one incredible play from Hokori that defied the expectation as they defeated OG. Here's the game against OG where they defended and pushed for the win.
OG's got to do something about this.
Do they feel like they have to stop this one? Do they feel like they have the ability to team fight into double Chronosphere as well? Gobble up, toss in the creep.
I was going to scare Hokori for a second, and Lumiere realizing, there's no commitment. I'm going to go back into the Roche pit. Getting dragged by the Ether Remnant into the kisses and the roll. They've got a bit of chain stun here onto the Faceless Void, but Lumiere's able to get the Chrono off onto the two of them inside the pit. Grabs up the Aegis and a shard as Uragi's chasing Analog on the right-hand side. But this Faceless Void, taunted, stunned and controlled. OG doing everything they can, but Lumiere just refuses to die. First life finally claimed up as OG kill off him and the Undying. Cheese grabbed by the Earth Spirit. As Lumiere inside the pit still with his BKB to go, gets another Chrono, finding Uragi's Alchemist and whacking him down. That's him gone. A huge fight for Lumiere's Void, and there seems like nothing can stop him here. gets away from the two spirits. Amado with a triple kill on the other side. Did find the Undying another time as Theo forcing himself away from the Razor, but it's still this Lumiere show. Getting gobbled up and spat on, rolled upon by Tiger, BZM, and Yuragi. The control, the Abyssal Blade right at the last second. Looking worse for wear. And the roll in. Good gobble up. Analog being focused. Amar has moved in aggressively, and BZM hunting for the Zeus. The buyback from the Face of Void is here, but he's got no Chronos to play with. Has to time walk away, but they will get a Thunder God's Wrath out. Kill off Tiger and aim for Amar. The trouble being, your throne is falling. No clip available for the Dire team. Faceless Void has to fight mano a mano against the Alchemist. They've got the little piggy dead. He's gone for 2 minutes now, and Lumiere, he gets a double kill and looks for BZM. All the blink away. Another Dissimilate available after this Yule Scepter. He needs to create space and survive. Lumiere looking for the bashes or the bushwhack, and he finds it. Him out in these fights. And he got a refresher shot on Gardig. So double tombstone. Aeon Disc used very early on, but this tier 3 cleared up by Hokori. Let's see what they do. Is it tier 4's on throne, or is it, like you say, just a couple of lanes of barracks?
The good thing about the other side lanes is you're not resetting the glyph, because what OG have is triple glyph. They've already used one, but they've got 2 more. You kill a tier 4 tower, it resets the glyph, and I think Hokori are going to be like, okay. Oh, whoa!
Lumiere, he's straight onto the 2 cores, but the gobble up save. The play there, the second
next
chrono will
though
come in, catches 3 of them, and Lumiere's killed off the Void Spirit. No heroes for OG left now. They've all been destroyed by Lumiere. The Razor, he's in a 1v5, stuck in between the Hokori heroes. Tried to static link back onto Analog, and he's incredibly tanky with his Satanic and Heart, but Lumiere's got the damage to bring him to his knees. Yuragi and Amar, 2 versus 4 now. And Hokori,
no Chronos, but it's like you say, 2 versus 4 is no Chronos enough to take this fight.
There's 2 tombstones still on the floor as well. And this Time Walk Aghanim Scepter with the Time Locks landing is incredibly irritating. Lumiere just jumping back and forth, but he's a Blitzer bladed up. The stun from Yuragi and the damage from the Razor, but look at how much Hokori can push onto Yuragi's Alk. He's about to fall through his BKB and dead for 100 seconds.
It should just be GG now. Nobody to defend the base here. Except for Amaz Razor, all by his lonesome self.
Try as he might. You cannot fight against Hokori's 4 members in your base. Down goes the Razor. Tier 4's cracked open now. And GG called. Hokori tied up 1-1. It was a very close game, though.
Honestly, what a Dota game. This was so much fun to watch. OG, it felt like they were out of this game for a while at some point, and then suddenly they won an insane team fight. And
Our next clip shows why Magod collapsed Kalilov won the International 10 by styling on Team Secret on the bottom lane.
Some rotations out of the supports.
Oh man, if he got that, if he got that DD rune and it was able to turn that around.
Whew. Bottom lane, Collapse might be in some trouble here. Trying to use the micro to hold back Crystallis, but Poppy with the Nightmare will enable the Bloodseeker to close the distance. Some juking has to occur if Collapse is going to be able to stay alive. He's going to run to Maposhka, acting as the bodyguard. Crystallis goes a long way around, tries to get in front, he doesn't. Oh no, Collapse chucks out an Axis. They've got Yotaro was on. No way, Collapse doesn't die. Still in the lane he goes. They need a little bit more damage. One more right click will do it. Collapse will turn to stand his ground. They don't get the kill.
He gets a 6.
And now we got the roll from the experience from this. Oh no, what just happened?
Oh, Collapse just happened. That's what, I mean, that is the most demoralizing thing that you can imagine. Even the Haunt there, just
Our last clip follows EG making a wild chase after PSG LGD that could have turned the game around, but EG was just too strong that day.
You know, or just have it in the backpack between the long late game fights. Arteezy, by the way, looking for a chrono.
Ooh,
the
so
reaction
fast.
time from nothing to say. Not gonna let that one happen. Will Arteezy refresh and look for another one? Oh, he gets a bash. He's thinking about it. He's got the refresher up. He's letting him sit. Nothing to say. once again here. Does Jaunt and blink away. Absolutely leading EG on a wild goose chase. As Fly's going to be the one to catch him with the Scythe of Ice. In goes Arteezy, the bashes, and the kill. Nothing to say, but here it comes. Faith Beyond, he's already self-doomed himself, and Ame's in on this. The Black Hole onto 2, and there's going to be the save from Crit. Arteezy needed to escape, but he's feared up, and the Chain Frost is going to put him down. Nothing to say, he's bombed back, and he's in this fight as Soniq pulverizing down onto Fly. The remnants of the Doom will condemn him, and EG, they lose 3, maybe even 4, as Faith Beyond setting up for this kill onto Crit. Ame's in on top of him alongside Soniq, and EG are going to get picked off as they chase. And
Here's a look at the playoffs that will kick off on October 20th. EG will play Thunder Awaken, Team Secret will face off against PSG LGD, Tundra will play against OG, and Team Liquid will meet Team Aster. In the lower bracket, we have the Battle of South America with Hokori against Beast Coast, TI10 champions, Team Spirit will go up against Spoon Esports, Fnatic will play Gaiman Gladiators, and lastly, NTT will play Royal Never Give Up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you after the playoffs.